My friends, I was just sitting inside our terminal where they had the TV on, and I sat through an entire Jason Bateman movie, and I'm here to yell at all of you about it because nobody in the world makes my blood boil more than Jason Bateman. And instead of being an adult about it and realizing this is all my problem, it's all in my head, and I sat there and watched the guy on the screen that I just can't stand, I decided instead of taking personal responsibility and being an adult, I'm gonna be an emotional douchebag and I'm gonna go off on Jason Bateman and make it his problem that I have a problem, because that's the way we handle things around here. That's the way and I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna cancel Jason Bateman tonight, but soon I will. One day, I will end Jason Bateman's career. That sounded worse than it had to, if I'm being honest. But no, I just don't like the guy. And I sat there and watched the whole movie. Yeah, throwing a temper tantrum in my head. But that's not what we're here to talk about now, is it? It's just kind of a little funny shot, I guess, at the way people act these days. Oh, I don't like that guy, so I'm going to ruin him. Oh, Jason Bateman, you're safe. I won't hurt you. I won't hurt you, Jason Bateman. Hello, how are you guys? Hope you're all doing well out there. I am just kidding. I mean, I did watch a Jason Bateman movie, and you guys, if you guys know me, you know that he gets on my goddamn nerves, and I just don't know what it is about him. He never did a damn thing to me, but he just drives me absolutely crazy. But the movie happened to be Dodgeball, and that movie's fucking hilarious, so I got over it and I feel better now. You know, I just needed a minute to be a child on the internet and complain about things I don't like, and instead of walking away from it or finding something else to watch, god damn it, I'm gonna hold a personal vendetta against Jason Bateman, probably for the rest of my life. That's probably what's gonna happen. But what I really wanted to talk about today, my friends, is TikTok is dead. All right, I don't actually know the ins and outs of all this. As far as I understand it, there's people that follow politics way more than I do, and I'm not trying to take a political stance here. You got to be careful here on YouTube. If you show that you have a political opinion, people want to take your head off. You're not allowed to do that in this great country of America, so I got to be real careful here. What I understand of it is it was part of this foreign aid deal packaged up with aid to Ukraine and whatever else, and in there this passed through Congress, I believe, that they will eventually ban TikTok unless they sell to an American company. That's the details I understand of it. I could be missing something, because like I said, I don't really follow politics a whole lot these days. But I am here to say, fuck TikTok. I'm glad it's happening. I am so goddamn happy that TikTok is getting thrown out. I hope that this all happens. All right, I know I'm making a lot of people angry right now, but that's kind of what I do here on YouTube. But let me tell you, first of all, obviously I have some personal issues with TikTok. For those of you that never watched that video, maybe you're seeing me for the first time, here's what happened. All right, I went over to TikTok to try making some little videos over there because I was dumb enough to believe that if I grew a TikTok channel or whatever the hell it's called, it would bring people over to my YouTube channel. But I obviously didn't realize what I was dealing with. When you're over here on YouTube doing long form content, you're dealing with people that are interested in knowing you and hearing your story and watching all your videos and getting to know you as a person. If you're over there trying to get TikTok viewers, you're dealing with fucking Ritalin kids that have the attention span of a TikTok viewer, and that's fucking terrible, right? So it was a foolish decision on my part. It absolutely was. But I went over there, and my very first video was me making fun of a knucklehead truck driver that does a thing that other knucklehead truck drivers think for some reason is a good idea. And here's where I really start to push some trucker buttons right now, but it just has to be said. There's a thing that truckers do, and I don't know why, and that is when we're coming up on a construction zone and there's going to be a lane closed in front of us. For some reason, there will be some smart-ass trucker that will swing his truck into both lanes, effectively closing both lanes. And I don't understand the goddamn logic behind it. They go, Josh, if you shut down both lanes, it improves the flow of traffic. For fuck's sake, somebody fucking help me. How the fuck does closing all traffic lanes and stopping all traffic improve the flow of traffic? Nothing about that makes any little bit of sense whatsoever. And I'm gonna have to say this, guys. I know. This is gonna be hard to hear. But if you think that by stopping all traffic lanes, you have improved the flow of traffic, I'm not saying 100% certainty this is true, but it's possible that you're inbred, because how the fuck could you even possibly process that as accurate information? I'm sorry, guys. I try to do these videos seriously, because I love doing the jokes when people don't realize it's a joke, and then their head explodes and oh my god, he's such an asshole, he just called me inbred. Yes, I just called you inbred. Because I don't understand how this is supposed to help. So you've got 2 lanes of traffic coming up. I'll get to why I hate TikTok. Give me a goddamn minute. I'm explaining the fucking story. So you got 2 lanes of traffic, right? You've got signs going up that says, I don't know, left lane closed ahead, right? And then you're supposed to merge before the lane ends because you don't want to drive through the traffic cones and possibly the construction workers that are working down there, right? That's a really bad thing when you run over a construction worker. We all understand that, right? Now, if you're in one of those like backwoods states like Oklahoma or I saw it in like, I don't know, Pennsylvania, which are the rednecks of the Northeast, right? And they will have signs that say merge now, even though the lane doesn't close for another mile. Okay, state laws vary, I get it, right? So when those states do that, then we merge now, god damn it. It doesn't matter that we got a mile or 2 of open lane still, we merge fucking now. But in most states, modern states, you know, ones that like science and research and shit like that, it's generally known that you use both lanes up until the merge point, and then if everybody could be adults, which we know is impossible out there, then you would take turns merging if you need to when we get to the end. And there are some truckers out there that believe that by stopping the goddamn traffic lane, you have just made the situation better. I don't get it. I've been a truck driver for 10 fucking years, and it has never occurred to me that stopping all traffic improves the situation. Maybe I'm the dumb one. That's entirely possible, but nothing about that makes sense. So here's what happened. I made a video making fun of that guy. There was a guy behind me. I was stopped waiting for traffic to move, and there was a guy behind me shutting down the whole damn road with his big rig back there, right? And I made a video making fun of that. This is where my personal issue with TikTok comes from. All of a sudden, I find myself bombarded with a bunch of knuckleheads that all repeat everything they hear without putting any thought into it, and I don't like that, right? Because I have, for one, lived life long enough to know and drove a truck long enough to know that not everything's black and white, right? There's a lot of different ways to handle different situations, and just saying it doesn't make it the actual answer to anything. So yelling at people that, no, that's what you do, is completely ridiculous. But what I didn't know about trucking TikTok was that they were a bunch of spineless cowards that only repeat what they're told is okay for them to repeat, and then they all massively piled on me in a huge bullying campaign that left me heartbroken from all the knucklehead truckers, because that seems to be the word of the day, that obviously think it's okay to shut down traffic lanes with their big truck, which really makes us all look fantastic. Thanks, guys. Good job. And they had a ringleader that made all their talking points for them, right? He would tell them, he would make the first video coming after me, and after, they would all wait for him to make a video coming after me, and then 30,000 angry truckers would all do the same thing coming after me. And the way TikTok is, like, you can actually like harass the shit out of people on TikTok by doing stitches or like replies that I get notified of, and it's really a frustrating process. And on TikTok, in trucking, I don't know any other communities, you are expected to fall in line and follow the rules of the one dude in charge of the truckers. And that sounds silly, doesn't it? That sounds fucking goofy. But all I was saying was this is the way I view it. This is the way I understand it. And you're not going to have me out there blocking 2 lanes of traffic, because that seems like a very selfish, very entitled thing to do, because nobody would be honest about it was the problem. Here's all they needed to say. Just be honest. I go first. Me first, god damn it. And that's the reason they're blocking all the lanes, is so nobody can get around them, and because of the me first mentality, and not one person was willing to say it. So that's my personal beef with TikTok. I don't like spineless people that are afraid to think for themselves because somebody might ridicule them on the internet. I've spent years and years on this internet space, and that used to bother me too. But I got this thick skin now, and I'm not afraid to say what my own goddamn opinions are. And this is America. I'm welcome to. I'm allowed to. Tough luck if you don't like it, right? All right. So another thing I really hate, here's why I think TikTok needs to go away. TikTok has ruined content creation, absolutely destroyed it, right? Now, like I was saying earlier, you got a bunch of goddamn Ritalin kids running around, fucking can't consume content in longer than 30-second increments, and then they treat everyone else like shit if you dare to make a half-hour-long video. So I'm over here just minding my business, making my half-hour-long videos, 40-minute-long videos, and I did nothing different, making the same videos for years, right? And then out of nowhere, right around the time that TikTok started to emerge, I would get comments that would say, will you get to the point already? Motherfucker, the fucking video is the point. All right? Now, if you can sit back, pop one of those Ritalins, relax for a little while, and listen to the goddamn story, then maybe you might enjoy what's going on here. But yelling at me when you can perfectly see on the goddamn screen before you picked my video that the motherfucker was a half hour long, and then you're yelling at me to get to the point, chill the fuck out. You're killing me over here, bro. I gotta get to the point because you can't pay attention. This is not my fucking problem, right? And it started to really, really kill the quality of content out there. And I hate, if there's nothing more that I hate in this planet than Jason Bateman, it is, there's a little callback there, that was pretty good. I like it, I like it. It is lazy content. Okay, now this, I understand, I'm not making like blockbuster films over here, right? I don't have a Mr. Beast budget to do these crazy things, but I sit here and I think about the jokes and how am I going to structure this video. There is actual work put into my videos, not so much this one, because I'm not going to run any B-roll, if you guys haven't noticed by now, because you weren't paying attention, you were spaced out, fucking not listening anymore 10 minutes ago, and not looking at the screen. I'm not running any B-roll on this one because it's sort of a last-minute video for me. I understand I'm not making the world's greatest content here, and anything with like that takes the greatest amount of effort, right? But that's not what I'm talking about. I fucking hate lazy content. Why are you here? If you're not interested in putting yourself out there in some way or another, or bringing some energy, or exciting your audience, what in the fuck are you doing here? And it takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a consistent content creator. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, I talked about this before. I started YouTube way back on a different channel over 10 years ago. I read the same goddamn article that everybody read that sent them flocking to YouTube to open up a channel, and that article was about how this weird fella named PewDiePie was making millions of dollars off of just playing games, right? And I learned a very valuable lesson from all of that a lot of people don't fucking learn. And anytime, that lesson is, my friends, that lesson is, anytime that you refer to what somebody does and you use the word just, oh, he just plays video games, he just turns on his camera and talks. If you use that word just, you are demonstrating that you have no fucking clue how any of this works and the work that goes in to doing this. And I understand, there's probably a lot of new people watching me right now because we're a little bit off topic from the normal stuff. I understand I'm not doing the world's greatest content, believe me. I just simply don't have the fucking time to make amazingly produced videos. Anyways, but you know, after TikTok, I don't know what came first, like Facebook Reels and the Instagram bullshit, but YouTube started doing this shorts garbage, right? And I can't stand them. I do have a few. I tried them. I just wanted to fucking understand it a little bit. But what these shorts do, and the TikTok and all that stuff, inflates a lot of people's egos, because they put out like a short or a TikTok and that thing goes 1 million views overnight, right? And that's what happens with short form content, right? And congratulations on your 1 million view video. You have now made 6 cents. What an amazing success you are, right? But a lot of people, especially on YouTube, because YouTube's a really hard platform to grow on. I'd say it's probably the fucking hardest. Getting people to commit so much to your videos that they push subscribe and they come back is a very, very challenging thing to do here on YouTube. I don't know why this platform's so much harder than other ones, but it's a very, very difficult platform to grow on. So now you got a fucking guy over here putting out YouTube shorts that are getting, you know, 30,000 views, and he made exactly 1/4 of a penny off of that video, and his subscriber count shoots through the fucking roof, right? And then he goes to put out a long form video, and he's over there with, you know, 10, 20, 30, 100,000 subscribers. The minute he puts out a long form video, he struggles to break 100 views. And I'm not like doing this to like wave my dick around. I understand I'm not a big channel. I get that, right? But I've had people come to me that grew their channel on shorts, and they're like, dude, you need to get your numbers up. You need to get your head in the game and step it up. I'm like, well, I mean, I can kick out a long form video and pull 5,000 views sometimes. That's pretty good. We got one approaching 100,000. It's not the worst fucking thing ever, right? But it's this artificial, inflated sense of fucking, I don't even know what the fucking word is, that like doesn't make any goddamn sense. You know, I couldn't imagine growing a fucking video, I mean a channel, through shorts. What's the point? What's the fucking point? And that was YouTube's response to TikTok, to try to compete with them, and I don't think they ever should have, if I'm being honest with you. Look, let's just separate the fucking audiences. Have your, you know, slobber and snot-nosed kids that want everyone to get to the fucking point right now all on TikTok. Just stay over there and be a dumbass with all the other dumbasses. Yes, that's how I feel about TikTok viewers. I don't know what you want me to tell you. It's bad. It's just a bad fucking product. And I understand there's a lot of people on TikTok that do put time and effort and energy into making their short little videos, and some of them are quite impressive. And then you got the stitch feature, where somebody finds that really funny short video, and then it splits the screen in half, and then they're reacting, and all they're doing is laughing. and then they pull in millions of views off of someone else's fucking work. And I cannot express how much I absolutely can't stand lazy content. It drives me fucking nuts. You know, here over on YouTube, have you guys ever sat through a react video? Oh my god, that is the lowest form of life on fucking YouTube. And don't get me wrong, I have been thoroughly entertained by some reaction videos out there, right? Like a random black dude listening to 9 Inch Nails for the first time. Now that is fucking phenomenal entertainment, because I know I'm dating myself. I'm an old man at this point, but like 9 Inch Nails is like such an interesting sound, right? And then there's like random black dude that's 22 years old, and he's like, what is 9 Inch Nails all about? And he always looks confused. He's like, I don't fucking get it, man. I don't get it. And I'm like, I guess that makes sense, because it took me a while to get it too, and I was young when it came out. But that's actually quality fucking entertainment. But have you ever watched these fucking bozos that argue with pre-recorded videos, and they've got all these mic drop moments in it, right? Like they find a guy they just don't like on YouTube, so they steal his video, and then they sit there and they watch his video, and then they respond to all the points he makes in his video, right? It's fucking awful. It's so goddamn lazy. I don't, if it were up to me, if I was controlling these platforms, anybody out there that is using somebody else's work to grow their name, I would immediately ban their content. Say, hey, you know what? We only want quality content with effort put into it. We don't want you thinking you're... Who argues with a pre-recorded video? Come on. you got to get a life, man. You got to get a new fucking hobby. You know, you're over there fucking, I don't like this guy, so I take his video, right? And he said a thing, because me, I just kind of like freestyle my videos, right? Whatever comes out, that's the video, right? And then it's, people that do videos the way I do have a tendency sometimes to not say things the exact perfect way, right? And then there's this guy that's like outsmarting you because he's like, oh, you said that, but what you meant was that, and maybe you don't know what you're talking about. And Jesus fucking Christ, what are you doing right now? Do these people realize how psychotic they look when they're arguing with a pre-recorded video and they're like, I fucking own that guy, right? I had watched one just a couple days ago. There's a girl I kind of know here on YouTube. She's, I think, fairly new-ish trucker, and she's been kind of documenting her trucking journey. And I think that's such an interesting thing to do. You know, on my old channel, I kind of went through the growing pains of sort of understanding trucking, right? And not to say I've got it all figured out, but I am the greatest goddamn trucker that ever lived, so I'd say I probably got it all figured out, right? Yeah. We can all agree with that. I got it all figured out. But she had went to a big company a year or two ago. I don't really know the exact timeline. And maybe she wasn't quite clear on how a lot of things work, because trucking is such a big industry, but it can be very confusing, especially if you're new. So she had what she felt like was a bad experience at this big company, and she documented it. She talked about it, and I think that's okay. I think it's okay to be new at something and not fully understand what you're getting into and struggling to understand the way things work. And I think it's okay to feel how you feel about things, right? And look, I don't know if she was right or wrong. You know why? Because it's how she felt about it. Who the fuck am I to tell someone else how they should feel about their own goddamn experience? That would be really stupid of me to think that I could do that. That would be crazy, right? But then someone had got a hold of her video and just like critiqued the living fuck out of it, to the point that it wasn't a reaction anymore. It wasn't, it had no value, is what I'm trying to say. The video had no fucking value whatsoever. It was just like talking down. That's all it ended up being, was a video just talking down on a person that maybe was a little bit confused about how certain things work in trucking, which I said is okay. When you're learning, you're learning. Why not, right? And that's sort of what led me to this video overall, and the TikTok ban. And to get back to that point, I don't really think that TikTok will be banned. I believe, if I understand right, it still has to be passed through Senate, and all they're asking is for TikTok to sell to an American company. Well, we're dealing with American politicians. There's some amount of money that will make this right, and let's not act like there's not, right? TikTok will probably still be here. I don't think it's actually going anywhere. You can bribe a politician, all right? Let's not act like you can't. They'll find a way. They'll find a way, even if it's some shadow company or whatever. Oh, it's American, you know. They own it now. Yeah, sure thing. Absolutely. We're all fucking buying that. But anyways, what the fuck was I saying? That's the point I'm making. You know, not only have a lot of people ruined other people's content by just being complete douchebags about what other people are doing, I fucking hate the fact that that what I was saying earlier, that people just take other people's content and then they mic drop on them all the way through that video. It's foolish. It's like, it's a really lazy way to approach content. If you truly want to make content, put your heart into it, you know, put your mind into it, like fucking figure out what content you want to make. Taking other people's content is weak as shit. Like, and then that, obviously a lot of people ruin content that way, but the TikTok approach to content spread way too far, and it spilled over into all the other good platforms. Well, as far as I'm concerned, YouTube's the platform I like. It's the only one that I consider to be a good platform. I don't want to do anything with Facebook or Instagram. I mean, I screw around on Snapchat every once in a while, but I don't know that that's necessarily content creation. It's just like, here's a quick thing we can laugh at, and that's that. But the effects of TikTok have been absolutely devastating to the content creating world to the point that nobody's even trying anymore, and we're all fucking bored, right? Does that make sense? That's the point I'm trying to make. Is it's very difficult to even be inspired by someone else's work these days because nobody's even fucking trying. Everybody's just phoning it in and calling whatever pile of shit they put out on the internet content, and that's frustrating. And why the fuck are we all here? What are we doing if we're not gonna try even a little bit? And I think that's what I'm mad about. I'm not fucking with you. Yes, I'm mad that content has been destroyed. Independent content, just the people just living their life and making whatever videos they want to make, has been replaced by a bunch of lazy, entitled shitheads that think that they should have a huge platform for doing the bare fucking minimum. And I hate that that's what content creation has come to. I hate that that's the world we fucking live in. And I wish people knew the actual grind. And I know if you're just listening, I know this is a very small channel. I get it. I was going to tell you my resume, but who gives a fuck? Let's just all assume that this is the biggest channel I've ever had on YouTube. Who gives a shit? I wish people had to go through it the hard way, because the fact of the matter is, the truth is, not everybody deserves to have a platform. And if you're not going to bring something new to the table, if you're not going to excite your audience in some form or another, then you get left behind, and deservedly so. That's the way it should work. And I fucking hate lazy content. That's it. That's why TikTok should go away. Bye now.